Hey everyone, it's FKY again, and I'm going to do another vlog or vlog. I'm still not sure how they're pronouncing it these days or like since the beginning because I'm so new to it. Anyhow, so I'm going to do another vlog on the books I have right now because I live in another city and then I come to another city and all of that stuff. So anyhow, most of my books are there, but when I came this time to Islamabad, which is the capital of Pakistan, I brought along the books I wanted to read, and here they are, all of them. So I'm going to talk about them briefly, and I don't even know much about some of them, but I'm just going to show you guys the books I have and what are they about. So let's start with the ones I'm reading. The Art of War. I mean, this is one of the most famous books ever, right? It's written by Sun Tzu, or Sun Tzu. I don't know how they pronounce it. I know, but that was more Japanese, but he's Chinese. Anyhow, Sun Tzu. It's a manual of how to fight in a war and the art of deception, and it's divided into 13 chapters, and all the chapters are talking about different aspects of war and everything. I'm enjoying it. The parts about the terrain and the grounds and everything are a little boring for me because I'm not going to go into actual war, or any for that matter, but the other ones about the deception and all of these things, how to deceive an enemy and how what's a good leader and what's a good commander, that's really good. I won't recommend you to use it in your own life, but as the description says, you can also use it in your business and other matters in which you have to be competitive. But let's not be competitive, let's just love each other. And that's why I'm reading The Art of War. This one is called Freedom at Midnight by Larry Collins and Dominique Lapierre. Now, I read many books. I try to read many books at one time, and that's why I don't finish any single one of them. But this is something I've been trying to read since ages, and I'm still like here. I was told about this by someone to whom I was talking about another book, which is by Khalid Hosseini, A Thousand Splendid Suns, and I've reviewed that book. And that guy said, I was telling him how Khalid Hosseini wrote that book in a way that it was basically the whole history, not the whole, but some almost like 70 years or more of Afghanistan through the lives of two women. And that person was really interested in that and said that there's another book which does almost the same thing. He told me about Larry Collins and Dominique Lapierre, or Pierre, because they've written different books. They've written one about Palestine, and I haven't read the Palestine one because I'm more interested in the history of the subcontinent and the partition of the subcontinent and all of that. So this is about these four people basically: Mahatma Gandhi, Mountbatten, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and Jawaharlal Nehru. And it revolves around the lives of these four people as well. So you get to see all the events happening around them. So this is another one that I'm reading, and this was my book on the Euro trip. Because that one is a little rugged and it's just falling apart. So I was like, okay, I have to have a book which is more strong. And this was it. And throughout my Euro trip I was collecting stuff from different countries, like papers and tickets and everything, and it just used to be in this book. Anyhow, The Indian Summer by Alex von Tunzelmann. From what I can understand, it was more of a thesis, or her final thesis for her PhD or something like that. She studied history. She's actually a Dutch, and she wrote this book. Now, I like this one more than Freedom at Midnight, because that one was basically, interesting fact about that was that those two people were also the two authors that Mountbatten wanted his biography to be written by. So I find that a little biased, but this one I love. Maybe I like this one more because it's more close to my subjective thinking, but I feel it's more objective, and I feel that's more subjective. But that's a debate that never ends. What's objective, right? So I like this one more. I feel this is more objective. I feel she's trying to cover everything more objectively than those two. It's more about the events and how they happen through the different letters and everything than the perspectives, because Freedom at Midnight is more about the perspective because it's trying to be a story, and this is trying to be a history of whatever happened. Another book that I am still reading is Prisoners of Geography by Tim Marshall. Now, I love this book. This guy is a huge journalist and has traveled all around the world and has covered wars around the world as well. And this one is about geography basically, and how geography shapes all our conflict, decisions and political affairs and foreign affairs and everything. So basically we are prisoners of geography, and that's why the plains of Russia decide so much, and the countries between Western Europe and Russia and their geography decide so much, and then China and India and Pakistan and all these countries and their border disputes, and then Afghanistan as well. I mean, it talks about everything. So I really love this book, and I think it's going to be one book that I'm going to have with me around wherever I go. Because every time you read it, you find something more interesting, and then you realize, okay, you go somewhere, and then you realize what Tim Marshall was saying in the book. So this is highly recommended for everyone. The ones about the subcontinent, Pakistan and India, is more about people who are interested in that history, but this is for everyone. Okay, this is another book that I've started, Afghanistan by Stephen Tanner. As the book says, it's the first complete military history of Afghanistan from Alexander the Great to the fall of Taliban. I mean, and I love reading about Afghanistan anyways. I try to find more and more about Afghanistan because I'm a Pashtun, so my roots are in this region. As far as I've read this, it was really good. He is American, but he's known for writing about war strategies and war history, basically, not strategies. So this is about this region of Afghanistan and who used to live there according to historians. And once you read this book, I mean, I'm still at the beginning, but once you read it, I guess you'll know everything about this region.